All right, welcome back to Happy Hour with Heather and guest. I'm that other dude, Andrew, and I'm here always with Heather, the engine of the
Hello.
show. I didn't mean to cut you off there,
Oh, that's all right. Hello.
but this is episode 10, the first one of 2022. In fact, we're recording this on New Year's Day because that's how we roll. Nothing will stand in the way of us bringing you the jams and our insight on said jams. And today we have a great show for you in store. We're going to kick things off with discussing the music of a band called Goat Explosion. And their album we're going to review is called Rumors of Man. That's going to be followed up by some reviews of some albums by other contemporary artists, Doomsday Rejects, Tigers on Opium, and They Watch Us from the Moon. And at one point, I will discuss some work-related riffs that are some of my favorites that all have a special meaning to me. And I think it's universal. If you've ever had a job and you've had to go to work in the morning, you will definitely understand some of these riffs. And I'm warning you right now, you may get hooked, and you may decide to adopt one or more of these songs as your morning travel songs. So just putting that out there right now. Also, I guess we have to decide. We'll wait until this is posted to do the drawing of whomever wins the vinyl, the cloud vinyl.
Yeah, and I brought there's a CD.
Yep, there we go.
One. And then there's another CD.
Cool.
And there is a vinyl record.
There it is in all its glory.
So we're going to be giving these away. This is sealed. We're going to be giving these away. So send us an email if you would like to be entered to win the record or the CDs, whatever your preference is.
Although by the time this gets posted, it will have already been, the contest will have been over.
Oh, really? We're not going to.
I mean,
let's give people a chance. Let's give people a chance that watch this.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Terminator timelines. We're changing it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we'll extend it a little bit and give people a chance. You know, if you want to enter, if you watch this and you want to enter, send us an email, happyhourhg@gmail.com. And what should we make the cutoff date be?
Well, we can play it by ear. I say maybe a couple of days after.
Okay. All right.
But we'll post something to let you know. Also, this is just another example of how awesome Heather is to want to give people more of an opportunity. And as someone who will be shipping the items out to you, I believe Heather has 100% rating on eBay. So there you go. You're going to get quality goods in handled with care.
Yes.
Like Santa Claus, right? Didn't Santa Claus? He did something with care. He may have gone down the chimney with care.
Yeah. Well, with care, it'll be with care. I guarantee it.
With care. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shall we move on? So, Goat Explosion, and this is going to set the tone for today. I discovered them when I was teaching at my latest school. I was teaching high school students at a small school for kids who have ADHD and learning disabilities. So they're all really great kids. And early in the day, we would have advisory where we would help them stay organized. So every day was a different task. One day we would help them organize their backpacks and lockers. the next day we would help them with their notebooks. We would do a grade check. So there was a lot of downtime, not a lot of downtime, but there was downtime sometimes because these meetings would be 20 minutes and sometimes we'd be done with them in 10. So I would play music for my advisory, and I was scrolling through YouTube and I found the EP that Goat Explosion had put out. First of all, I saw the name Goat Explosion and I said, I have to listen to this. Even if it was like polka, I would have wanted to listen to it. So the EP is called Siesta Infernal, and the cover is Karl Marx with horns shooting laser beams out of his eyes. And that just sealed the deal. I was like, first the name and now the image, I got to check these guys out. So I listened to the track Vulgar Saints, and one of my students really took to it. In fact, I think the following day during advisory, he asked, are we going to listen to Goat Explosion? And I remember I said to him, I've never been more proud of you. I'm trying to think if that was accurate. I think I had been more proud of him for actually, like doing good on homework and stuff, but this was monumental. Like I'd rarely had a student ever ask about music that I listened to. Most of the time they sort of either covered their ears or didn't really care. Lest you think, it wasn't like I was blasting the music through speakers in my room or anything, but I just want to give you the proper context. So tangent over. All right, so Goat Explosion from Leipzig, Germany. This will be the second band we've listened to from Germany because I think Slow Green Thing was from Dresden. So the Germans putting out great music. They have released an EP before this, like I said, which was a demo that featured many tracks on their album Rumors of Man. I think there's only one track on the EP that doesn't appear on their full length. So we can essentially go through all their music by talking about Rumors of Man. So the first track, The Wandering Spectre, and I wrote, out of the gates with a solid buildup, dynamite vocals and a great riff. I felt like I was in a cavalry charge. Great meandering stuff. A little over 3 minutes and a breakdown, the tempo slows, and another crushing riff. And then I said there was just a longing in the vocals. It sounded like he was so forlorn, like he was searching for something. There was just a longing. And then I said another solo in which less is more, that complemented the melody. Like the soloist didn't show off by shredding or anything. It was sort of like, let me show you how awesome I can make this with fewer notes.
Yeah. To me, it has a traditional Doom feel to it. I really like the inflections in his voice when he sings. I thought it was really cool when the song slows down and then there's layered guitars towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, a great way to kick things off, I felt. I told you last time, and I actually reached out to the band, but I had told Slow Green Thing how big of a fan I was of their music. And I feel like Goat Explosion is just doing a great job sort of complementing, like we're doing back-to-back jams right now. Just two bands who I would definitely go see and whose music I will definitely put on the rotation. But the second track, Vulgar Saints, this was the one that hooked me originally. And I wrote, I'm back in advisory with my students. Another incredible riff with an awkward time signature. And then I wrote, look at me dropping phrases like time signature, ooh la la.
Yeah, this song is anthemic. This would be a great song to play.
Oh my goodness. I hadn't finished my description, but that was the next thing I was going to say.
Oh, really? So I just jumped in. I just
but
jumped in and cut you off.
that's that's synchronicity.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. But so after Ooh La La, I said an anthemic chorus. I could see the crowd all singing along. The bridge is sort of like a congregational song, and then another solo that's sort of like fewer notes but really powerful arpeggios. But again, that's synchronicity, because I was literally just about to say an anthem and you jumped in and said anthem. That has to mean something.
We're on the same wavelength.
Oh, we absolutely are.
Yeah. And this song would be, if you're like, I feel like in the morning, if you're getting ready to go to something, you could put this song on and it would get you ready to go and all pumped up and in a good mood. I thought this song had some really great guitar work and especially with some higher notes, which I thought was really awesome.
Yeah, this was the song that hooked me, that got me into the band. So yeah, definitely a personal favorite. Next up was If Crimson Was My Tower. And I said, this is the type of song that would be playing in the soundtrack of a movie where the hero's been knocked down, gets back up in slow motion, wipes blood from his nose and smiles to indicate that he's not finished yet. And then I said, a solid blistering riff, slower tempo, cut from the same melodic cloth as the other songs. That was another thing I enjoyed about this, is that you could sort of tell it was Goat Explosion the whole way through. Even though the songs sound differently, it's got that like stamp on it. And I said a more melancholic tone, but awesome. And then I wrote, he's mad tortured. More solid soloing of the less is more school. Changes at 1540. I guess I was watching it on a whatever. Breakdown, almost an Eastern sitar type sound, more acoustic, picks back up with a much faster tempo and all the instruments included.
Yeah. This song is paced a little bit slower. It gets very slow about 3/4 of the way through, and then it really speeds up with a powerful ending.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we've covered. I was going to think of something else to throw in there, but I think we've pretty much covered all the details. But Rumors of Man, which is also the name of the album, is the next track. I said another crushing riff. Vulgar Saints had been my favorite of the album, but this is a close second. And then around 1950, so I guess I was watching it on YouTube. So forget about the times I'm giving you. The tempo kicks up almost to a punk thrash tempo, with sort of like that staccato drumming. And then I said a drum breakdown to its previous riff. At 2140, the riff changes again, more melodic soloing and back to punk thrash.
I knew this song being the title song, I knew it was going to be great. I noticed how great the drums are in this song. That's what really stood out to me, was the drumming and how incredible it is.
Yeah, it's interesting because there are tracks throughout the album where they sort of give each musician a chance to shine, and this was definitely for the drums.
Yeah, I noticed that, and that's one of the things I was going to bring.
Oh, geez.
I noticed that too. Yeah.
Are we the same person today? What's?
I don't know what's going on, but yeah, definitely.
Well, the next album features the bass Where Shadows Hide. I said riff and some bass soloing. Another where I feel like I'm part of a cavalry charge. I don't know what it is about these songs that make me feel like I'm on horseback. I said a song for a soundtrack of pillaging, but not necessarily like villains pillaging, like the like farmers in the field, but like the good guys getting revenge against like the bad guys, that type of pillaging.
Yeah.
And then I said, hold on, where was I? The chorus has similar elements from Vulgar Saints. I said perhaps a callback. It had the same sort of feel to it, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah. Yeah. In each song, and this is like what you said, in each song I notice a standout instrument. And in this song it's the bass. So I wonder if it's intentional. That's what I wondered when I was listening. I wondered if it was intentional that they did that, to kind of feature a different instrument in each song. Yeah, it's funny. That is funny that we both picked up on that. So.
Great minds think alike. And
Yeah.
members of Goat Explosion, if you'd like to get back to Heather to let her know if that was a deliberate choice, please do. And keep making great music. Just want to put that out there. So we go from Where Shadows Hide to Dionysian Reveries. For those of you who don't know out there, Dionysus was the Greek god of wine. He was often invoked along with the muses for artists and musicians before they went to work. I'm going to stop talking now so I don't sound pretentious. But I said for this song, very subtle playing, almost ethereal, just cymbal and a straight chord here and there. I said no distortion. Definitely showcasing the vocals. Very somber. Some more playing to the melody. Again, the vocals carrying the song. 4 minutes in, some static. Sounds like distortion is going to kick in and the floodgates are going to open. Then the riff kicks in, and oh boy, is it another solid riff. Incorporates the melody from the beginning into the more distorted riff. So I like what they're doing.
Yeah. The song is almost like a ballad. More emphasis on the vocals. I thought the title of the song would definitely be intriguing to you, especially because of the mythology and the philosophy of it. That's like definitely in your wheelhouse right there. So I thought that would be definitely the title of the song would intrigue you for sure.
And it absolutely did, because you know me so well. Then we get to the final track of the song, Stairway Through the Sun, which I thought was a cool title. And I wrote, cool intro, cut from the same musical cloth as the rest of the album. Stairway Through the Sun might be my second or third favorite. I said 40 minutes, there's a cool breakdown before the solo and a cool breakdown into the electric intro. I have no idea what that means. So.
Well, this is my favorite song on the album.
There we go.
I'd never listened to Goat Explosion before, so I thank you for bringing it to my attention. The name of the band is awesome. And it, you know what, it brought up, there's a song called Wrong Sabbath by Dope Throne. And it's a song, he talks in the song about hitting a goat with his motorcycle, and that just the title Goat Explosion made me think of that song where he described hitting a goat on his motorcycle. So I don't think it can get any more doom than that.
I would be, members of Goat Explosion, if you're planning on contacting Heather to tell her about the use of instruments, I would love to know the origin of the band name. Was it based on the song by Dope Throne? Or was there an exploding goat? Or is it just a metaphor? I would definitely love to find out.
Yeah, me too.
So that's, I would definitely suggest getting Goat Explosion, Rumors of Man. If you're curious to check out any of these songs, plus the one song that's not on the full length, pick up Siesta Infernal. They're both available on YouTube, and they're just jams. And then go back, check out Slow Green Thing. and all the other bands, really. I mean, so far in the 10 episodes, I can't think of a band that I wouldn't recommend someone to get their music. So
Yeah. Yeah, they're all really great. Every band we've covered. And and they some of them are in some different genres, but they're all great. Every band we've covered has been phenomenal.
yeah, absolutely. Speaking of phenomenal bands, we can move over to some reviews. We've got first up Doomsday Rejects, who I believe are from Jacksonville, Florida, and they've released an album that's already out called Volume 60. And I said it's definitely heavy doom with some sludge. I said it could be the the soundtrack of hell. Like if hell had a soundtrack, I could see this, definitely being on the playlist. Uh, and then I said they have great song titles that you actually also pointed out. We Live Among Flies, Plague of Sparrows. But the great thing is it has melody. You sort of you look at the album cover, you look at some of these song titles, and you think, okay, this is just going to be, I'm just going to be clobbered over the head with really harsh vocals and really, there isn't going to be any melody or harmony or anything. And it was quite the opposite. So I was really pleased by that because those are the songs I like. Um, I was trying to think of who I would compare them to, and I couldn't really think of anyone, which I take to be a good sign, because it means they're sort of unique. I kept wanting to say if you made Motorhead like a sludgier metal band, but I don't know if that would be accurate. I don't know why I kept wanting, maybe the vibe or something, but yeah, that's my 2 cents. I would definitely recommend picking up Volume 60 by Doomsday Rejects.
Yeah, and they're on Kingside Records along with Black Tire Superstar and Pure Sonic Outcasts, which is great. This band, these guys seem like they're a lot of fun, and this was a fun record to listen to. I actually have a poster. I can't see it, but it's right here. I have their poster on my wall, and I have a CD of theirs too of when they were in the swamp on the Swamp Records. So that actually was a CD that I was going to give away at some point. So I do have one of theirs. This album has great song titles. My favorite is "We Live Among the Flies." I like the sound samples that they use too. I think my favorite song on the album is "Plague of Sparrows." It feels like it matches my intensity of anger that I felt about things this year. I love how they use the hashtag swamp metal and swamp doom. I think that perfectly describes their sound. And it's like a swamp sludge doom. And it's heavy, but it has great hooks.
There you go. If you guys are looking for a pull quote, there it is. You could just tag it on the cover of the album or the next album, "Heavy with Great Hooks" from Heather. But yeah, no, I think again those were the two songs that I mentioned as well. So I feel like we're really in sync today.
Yeah.
Today. Next up, we've got two singles to review. One of them was from a band called Tigers on Opium, who I had actually featured some of their songs on A Fistful of Faceful. That's how I knew those guys. And this song, can you help me with the title of it? I don't seem to have it written.
It's called
Perfect Cocktail, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, The Perfect Cocktail. I said that it's solid garage rock, like something that I would definitely hear spinning on the radio. and it felt like, what did I say? I said, if you want a hard rocking jam you can blast from your car as you're driving, then that's it. I mean, I that would be the perfect, like I would put my sunglasses on, I would lower the top to the convertible, and I would just put the pedal to the metal and just blast the song. I don't think I'd even, I would obey the rules of the road, but when there would be an opportunity to do something, devilish, I would. Like, like I might drive on the shoulder a little bit. Like that's so there we go. But this song would be on 11.
Yeah. I can't picture you doing anything devilish when it comes to driving. This song, it's high energy, stoner desert punk. I got that vibe from it. Great song to get, like you said, it's a great song. It lift your spirits, get you pumped up. I've never had what their perfect cocktail is, but I'm sure I could make one on my own. And so this is a great song. I mean, definitely to check out this band. This is definitely a great song to listen to kind of get a very good idea of what they sound like and what they're all about.
Absolutely. And then we have They Watch Us from the Moon, which, and again, I'm sorry, you'll have to help me with the song title because I thought I had written it down, but I didn't.
Return to Earth.
That's right, Return to Earth, which I said was a trippy space odyssey for our generation. I said it was a cool riff with dynamite vocals and cool harmonies. I said, I don't know if this term exists already, but I said operatic space doom. And I said I was really blown away because I didn't know what to expect going in. I really didn't expect to hear, something that would be so, such great vocals and really such a cool opera. I mean, it sounded like I felt like, while I didn't think of it then, what I think of now is Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. That sort of like operatic type thing. Obviously much different song, but that's, this sort of sense that I got, like, okay, this is much different than I'm anticipating. And they're from Lawrence, Kansas, by the way. So we've got Jacksonville, Florida, Portland, Oregon, and Lawrence, Kansas.
Yeah, I like the mixture of the male and female vocals. This is anthemic power doom, if that were a thing. I don't know. We can invent some new genres. Why not?
Yeah.
But the vote to me in this song, the vocals is what really stood out.
Yeah, I mean, that was the most surprising thing to me, because again, thinking about, and that was also the same sort of thing that I thought with Doomsday Rejects, with the song titles and the tone of the guitars. I thought, okay, this is going to be, really sort of harsh, and it turned out to be the opposite. More so, I didn't really know. I sort of felt like, okay, this is going to be trippy, and then the vocals just blew me out of the water. So I definitely agree with you. All right, and then we've got the final thing. We've got some hooks. So okay, so these are going to be the 3 clips. There's a song by Earthless called "Lost in the Cold Sun," which I listened to when I was in Macau in 2012 because I was going to make a short film about my experience there. And I wanted to draw upon the Apocalypse Now beginning using the song "The End" by The Doors. And I felt like this was very reminiscent of that. Next up was a group called Black Pyramid. The track is Wintermute. And this one I discovered when I was in Hong Kong, and I would sometimes listen to this on the way to work. But the work song, the song I would always listen to on the way to work when I dreaded having to get on a crowded train, was a song by Noothgrush called Crawl. And yeah, that's the one. That one. In fact, I still remember the opening lyrics. I'll probably have them memorized for my entire life. May I crawl to your throne, O master god of swine, lick your heels, maim your kind, you worship sacrifice. So, yeah. So I will play the clips now so you can all hear them, but I wanted to give some context. So, Lost in a Cold Sun, I would listen to mostly in Macau when I was relaxing or thinking about shooting a short film. And Wintermute, I would listen to in Hong Kong the following year. The band is Black Pyramid. They were one of my favorite finds while I was in Hong Kong. But again, that was only sometime listened to on the way to school. But Crawl, that one I listened to almost every morning while taking the crowded train, because it was the perfect mix of like how I felt frustrated about like that the workday may be bad, or that the the train may be crowded, and I would have to deal with like incompetent people who like that's one of the things. I'm sure that you and everyone else out there have certain little things that irk you more than anything else. So one of the things that's always frustrated me more than anything, probably the only thing that's really frustrated me, is people who stand in front of the train door without letting you get off first. They try to get on the train without letting people disembark. And that was like every single morning in Hong Kong. So, and then when I flew back and lived in Virginia, I would walk to school every morning, and I would listen to that song sometimes. So I don't know if it was because it was like a Pavlovian response, and I just needed it to kind of get ready for the day. But I don't know, just obviously the lyrics, and then the fact that the only word in the chorus is crawl. Plus, I like the riff is good. But everyone I've played that song for looks at me like I want to keep my children away from you. So
yeah. See, now I dig it.
Yeah, so. Well, that's why we work so well together. It's like, when you find someone who's on the same wavelength.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Cool. Well, that was my long-winded analysis of the 3 songs, and then we covered a couple of album reviews, and we checked out the music of Goat Explosion, who I hope make another album soon, because I really dug their stuff, and I'm glad you did as well.
Yes.
And for those of you who are still interested, Heather will be sending them to you, but we'll be giving away cloud CDs and vinyl of Deus Ex Machina. Just email us at happyhourhg@gmail.com, and hopefully you will win.
And thank you to Jeff at Cloud for providing them to us to give away. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. And go check out Cloud's music. They are an incredible instrumental doom band. Although
we did an episode on them too.
We did. You should check that out. At least one of their songs has vocals that we listen to.
Yeah.
But I think they're primarily an instrumental band, but definitely worth checking out from the Pittsburgh area. Go check out Cloud, and check out all the other episodes that we've done so far in 2021. And I'm glad we're kicking off 2022 with episode number 10. So thank you, Heather. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
And we will be back with another episode in about 2 weeks.
Yes, we
will. It'll be your turn.
Yes, so. I'll pick I picked the next band, and hopefully I'm going to pick a good one. So hopefully everyone loves it as much as I do.
Yeah, I have no doubt that you'll pick a good one. But thank you, everyone, for listening, and we will be back in a few weeks.